Hey, I'd like to be transparent for a moment. This is uncomfortable. Many people are calling this the new reality. But the fact is, right now, no one knows what this is. Many beautiful thinkers are inviting us to see it as a new reality that will be less capitalistic, more compassionate, more loving, more true. Awesome. I think every one of us can relate to a desire to grow, that there is not only an individual desire for change in our own lives, but also a collective desire for a more sustainable and loving world. And what I also notice is a lot of people trying to find a sense of normalcy in all of this, which is also important. But I'm not sure we want to rush to try to continue all the things we were doing before. Isn't it a kind of denial if we do? I appreciate that we may need to wrestle with some uncomfortable, so it will be really important to be gentle with ourselves. Enjoy pizza for breakfast and ice cream with Nutella for lunch. I'm serious. If we sprint at the start of a marathon, we will likely puke on our shoes at the end, or even before the end. I believe this is a time of growth for all of us. And yes, growing is uncomfortable. And I know this well because in all sorts of ways, I've been in denial of my own growth. It's easier to talk about it, desire it, but doing it, I ain't wrestling that. This vision for our new reality is awesome. And it requires a transition from what we've done before. And here's the rub. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You can't go around it. You've got to go through it. Here's my experience. First, it's going to feel like a wrestling match. Then, there's a moment where we say, stop. Just stop. And we start to slow down. We see a little more. We deepen our awareness. There's this beautiful, enlightened teacher, Gangaji. She talks about the desire for truth and freedom being of a different order. There are other desires, desire for food and shelter, and then more subtle, desire for physical connection or even romance, and then even more subtle still, the desire for knowledge or the desire for power. And to satisfy those desires, we have to employ strategies related to past and to future, as in do what we've done in the past to get something in the future, in sort of simple terms. But the desire for truth, that's of a different order. And we don't get to employ the strategies that we've used before. In fact, they don't work at all. It asks you to sit with it, sit in it, and feel what it would feel like to stop wrestling. My daughter said earlier today, can we wrestle sometimes? Of course. In fact, I encourage it. And we will move with it sometimes. Yoga encourages us to move with all the energies. And as we move the breath and as we move the body, the awareness expands. I've been using different analogies, seeing all the weather patterns, surfing the variety of waves, of pleasure, of pain, wrestling, dancing. You've got to go through it. Go through it. If we dropped resistance, if we dropped denial, if we were willing to drop the old ways, can we move with awareness, even if it is uncomfortable for a while? And it might take a while. Yep, it might take a while. And can we accept that too? Because what's the rush?